What's going on, social media? So, we're on episode 63 of our innovation series, and we have our co host back, Jeremy C. So,
Hello.
he's been innovating at his daily workplace. So,
uh,
with virtual events, correct?
yeah, it was, I wouldn't say it was forced, but US and Europe, my counterparts have done it. So it was like I had to follow, right, keeping up to the standard. So it was an interesting experience to say the very least.
So, Jeremy C is now a pro live streamer.
I still don't make any money out of it or push like millions of dollars of merchandise doing live streams. So unlike those in China, so long way from there.
So today we can talk a little about blockchain, which I done my share of research, throughout, just with my technology background and just throughout hearing about it via cryptocurrency, via software, NFTs, and all that stuff, right? It seems to be the future of also the way you can do contracts safely. So let's talk about it because I'm no expert, but maybe you
Yep.
guys can shine some light on it as well. But I know the high level basics of NFTs and blockchain.
I guess the high level is good enough for tonight, right? Because it's too much to talk about.
Maybe Nick here is the expert since he's the IT guy. So hey Nick, how are you doing?
Hi, Nick. Drake, you wanted to say something. You wanted to chime in.
No,
Come.
I was thinking that we can start off the show by having a carrier into the topic that we are talking about, and that carrier could be something that Jeremy has been doing for I think 2 to 3 years. You have a crypto portfolio, right? Maybe
No,
we can
I
start
won't
from
say.
we can start
Yeah.
from there. I mean, like
Go ahead.
just
Yeah, can.
like from your experience, how does it feel investing in cryptocurrencies?
Right.
Maybe based on your understanding, what are they? And then we'll just start from there, and I think we
Sure.
can actually get into the blockchain technologies and NFTs, which is
Sure.
the thing now, I guess.
Yep. Just my very layman understanding, yeah. No lah, I didn't do cryptocurrency for 2 to 3 years, maybe a year plus, or maybe at most two years. So I think we need to be very clear on one point first, yeah. Blockchain is the technology, and things like cryptocurrencies and NFTs are use cases and applications, like even smart contracts. I think we need to make that differentiation. The way I would think about it, right, is putting it in other terms, is let's think about YouTube, for example. I think the technology that made YouTube as big as it is today is its very good video compression technology. So that's the back end, right? Because back then when YouTube started, everyone was amazed how you could stream, because they could compress the video in such a way that you could receive it even though your broadband, your bandwidth wasn't as wide as today. I think that was the technology that made YouTube what it is. In the similar vein, right, blockchain is the technology that enable all your other things, all these NFTs and crypto. So let's make that distinct difference first. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. So that's how I understand it. In a way now, people associate blockchain with crypto, or there may be other people who think that blockchain is equals to Bitcoin or whatever else, or people might think that Bitcoin equals to everything cryptocurrency. So that's not true, yeah. So as we said earlier, the technology is blockchain that has enabled cryptocurrency only because it's what you call the open ledger thing, right? Everyone can see what goes on. That's what blockchain is about. It's transparent. It's most importantly decentralized. Just like YouTube decentralized your main television networks, your content, your videos, everything you can watch now is at your own time on demand. So in a similar vein, that is what blockchain has done for currencies, which is cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are, well, in a way, it's not centrally regulated. is decentralized, which means anyone can transfer money to anybody else. Unlike in a normal currency situation, it's there's controlled demand, essentially controlled by the government, how much they print, value, exchange rate, all that good stuff. Crypto overturns that on its head, and it's basically borderless. It's not bounded by any geography. So that's like kind of my little experience with crypto. And to be honest, I think I shared with you guys before, I got into crypto because I was scammed, and I was trying to dabble in it to make some money back, but not any financial advice. And I think the past month or so, there's just been a bloodbath on crypto, and obviously I'm impacted as well. My portfolio is down like a lot. I'm bleeding. You can't see, but I'm bleeding and crying inside. So do the investment at your own risk research, because there's a hell lot to cryptocurrencies, right? Other than Bitcoin, right? What we call altcoin. And another application that is, you will probably see this term a lot, is DEFI. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. That's the huge thing that is in cryptocurrencies right now, of course, enabled by blockchain. DeFi is huge, and I really do think that it's giving traditional bank a run for the money, literally, because there's huge amount of investments into DeFi, only because I do feel that people are getting a lot of reward out of it, as opposed to you parking your money in a fixed D. You just get very little interest back, and with the current economic situation, you get even worse, right? Traditional banks are reducing their interest rates. That's why everyone is moving into DeFi to get better yield for their money's worth. I'm not going to go to NFTs. Maybe I let you guys touch about that, because I think I've spoken enough. So handing over to you, Audrey. You think I did a good opening so far?
You did talk about why you got in, which is part of the story where you got scammed. Yes. But that didn't get to the point where why you choose to stay and didn't get out.
Okay. It's simple. I got in because of scam, and I stayed in because I was trying to make my money back. And then I realized that I made my money back, and I could more than make my money back, so I stayed on. It is really primarily because of the yield. And to be honest, it is no different from gambling. Let me put it out there, right? The only difference is if you do your research and you are convinced that a certain cryptocurrency is going to boom, then good for you lah. If it booms, but that's still very close to speculating, right? So I do feel that there are different pieces to it, because in my portfolio itself, I split it into like three parts lah. One part is really the buying and selling of certain currencies, certain coins that I think that might go up or might go down. So that's one piece. There's another piece, people will call it the moon bag, which means you look at really, really early cryptocurrencies based on their use case, and you think that it might go up in the future. So you put a bit of investment there, hopefully that you 10x or 100x or 1000x its value. So that's the second pocket. The third pocket is something I put in one of these lending platforms, whereby you park your money in stable coins. Stable coins are coins that are one-to-one exchange with US dollars, so the value doesn't change. You park stable coins there, and you make like 10-13% interest. So that's like a fixed deal. Only thing that it is done in cryptocurrencies. So those are kind of like the three pockets that make me stay in. And I stay in because honestly, I think the return makes more sense than putting it in traditional banking amounts. Of course, please do keep some money in traditional bank as well, because you don't want to put all your money into crypto and get that swing of 50% loss overnight kind of thing. So as we know in investment, right, always diversify. Don't put your eggs in one basket. So for crypto, I put in 3 baskets, but that's not all the money that I have. I still have some money for emergency in case I lose my job, that kind of thing, in traditional banking, just for liquidity sake and faster to respond. Not to say that crypto is not liquid. It is very liquid, but there's still that 1-2 day bank transfer when you convert from crypto to fiat and then fiat back into your bank. Yeah, I think I'm touching a little bit more technical now. So I hope that answered the question, Audrey.
No,
So
I
with
find it
that,
very intriguing. Go ahead, Kevin.
so with that said, everyone, our audience, we're gonna start our own crypto coin, and we're gonna have you guys let you guys buy in. That's what we've been holding back for these few months. So we're starting our bottoms up coin.
Crypto coin.
So to the moon, all right, everyone. So who wants to invest? Just joking.
But I think that we can possibly consider something along the lines of a DeFi academy where it's still research based and we can put out the best thought forward, because I think these are the kind of topics that people are very interested in part for investment, in part for being excited over what the future will be. I mean, like, let's put it this way. I'm quite sick of the news for the past 1.5 years, right? Like the ping pong in terms of the vaccination and the whatever not and things like that. So this is one of the very few, I would say, a rare spot at where we are today in terms of just our march towards progress. And I think it's very important that way. So when it comes to this branch of technology, it's not like the internet where it encapsulates everything, but this branch of technology that's sitting on top of internet. When I did my writings on Medium as part of democratizing our research into the communities that we are living, I realized that there is a lot of, it closes the gap of traditional digitalization. One of the best ways I can articulate it is plagiarism, because I write. So in plagiarism, the original writer bleeds the most, and then the copycats get to benefit with least amount of effort because of keyboard shortcuts. And it's very simple, right? Highlight, wrong. 3 commands, Control A, Control C, Control V, publish. That's it. So the one that wrote it is effectively the one that got killed at the very beginning, and then his profits get chopped off by scavengers from behind.
You forgot one step. Copy the whole thing and then put it to thesaurus and change all the words.
No, I don't think people actually spend that much effort. I remember feeling pretty upset. I think it was 2019. I had quite a bit of LinkedIn posts being plagiarized word for word. And when I saw that, because my connections went to like that post and things like that, the person who plagiarized it says that he's a social media wizard. And I was like, really? You didn't even choose those that did very well. You choose those that didn't do very well. How the F are you a wizard? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. So one thing about blockchain, in my opinion, is it ensures no replication of data that has been registered. So what it does is that I think I have the full details on Medium. So for our audience who are interested, please look for our writing, which is under J29 Creative, but it's actually written for bottoms up perspective.
Cameron just went bonkers.
I broke down blockchain technology into 2 main parts. One is a block and one is a chain. So basically, the blockchain is a chain of blocks, and each block is a data packet that is unique and pre-registered. So instead of thinking of them laterally, think of them as being stacked blocks. So if you create the first block, that block will be registered with an ID. So you have a hash, you have a nonce that indicates that this block and the content in this block is created at this timestamp and is unique. So then every block that you created on blockchain ties in and piles on top of each other. So because it's unique, you can't perform a Control-C and Control-V. Honestly, I like that idea a lot, because if you have work that straddles between the physical world and the digital world, the last thing you want is for people to chomp off your effort as soon as you release them. Yeah, let's face it, that's the digital world, because it is very easy to plagiarize somebody's work and get away from it, because it could be someone that is 14 hours away, who's not connected with you, happens to see your stuff, thinks that it's and see that you have results. That's it. So there's always external decline and scavengers going around. So I think that's one thing about blockchain that I really like. Don't copy. And it pays a lot of tribute to content contributors, whether it's long form, short form, a post, a tweet, or crypto art. I forgot what's that. Is that a crypto kitty something that has been auctioned for like how many million? I was like, okay,
doesn't make sense.
No, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. But the technology has very good implications and intentions. I like that idea a lot.
No, and I think it, like you said, Aldrich, it changes this social media game, especially, right? People who are content creators, from video to art to music, is huge because it cuts out the middleman. Even the music industry is changing, because used to you have to license your music through production, management companies like Sony, or these big players. Nowadays, you can look into NFT and being able to still make money off your music, without a middleman. And so it leaves more room for creators, like even an agency like me. How do I track the content we put out for our clients? Like all the videos we put out on YouTube, Facebook, there's no way to track I even caught another agency resharing my videos in another country. It was in Argentina or something. And he was posting my video links as their work on all my projects that we put out on our portfolio. And then I had to reach out to him. But, legally it's hard to do anything because they're so far away, right? But he was posting all our portfolio work on his website, and it was on his social media and everything, So, yeah. But this I kind of eliminates that problem, right?
I think it's funny you mentioned music, Kevin, because I recently caught some videos talking about how music artists make very little despite putting their songs up on Spotify, platforms like Spotify. It's the platform that gets a lot of the money, and whatever's left distributed to the end creator is just really, really a very small percentage, despite they might have like millions of listens. So I think, hopefully things change there. I don't know, maybe with the help of blockchain or something like that. So yeah, it's a very funny world that we live in right now. Like something like, crypto art can go up in millions of dollars, which makes me want to dabble in crypto art, but I'm not good with art myself, let alone digital art. So yeah, it's quite crazy how things are developing right now, to be honest.
Yep. And it comes down to, too, we've been talking about research a lot, really going in depth and taking the time to research the information that you're getting. I think that's so important because we live in a world where there's a lack of truth, a lack of what's a credible source, right? So when you're a little kid going to school, they taught us, our generation, what's credible source. So, even in college, you got to source your work. This is where you find your source. But nowadays, as a Gen Z or someone younger coming out, like my own kids, what's credible source? You don't know the news, which news station is credible. How do you know what data? I mean, there's people looking at Reddit for financial research.
Yeah.
And that's a social media type community, I would say, So now you have Discord, you have Twitter, so you have Facebook news, But what's credible is starting to be a lot more, it's really muddy,
Mm.
So it's important to, to know, like, use your brain, critical thinking, when it comes to resources and what you read. Not everything on social media is true. Not every person that tells you, hey, here's my experience, this is how I did it, that doesn't mean it'll work for you. And it's something we have to, like, and that's how we're easily scammed nowadays, because and you started off, Jeremy, saying like, hey, you got scammed with cryptocurrency, and and it's easy to believe in something. I mean, I'm sure of all three of us, we've signed up for stuff that it wasn't what it cut out to be, right?
Yep.
And it's important. Do your homework, research before you jump into something. Just like Dogecoin. Like, I even bought some myself, right? But it wasn't enough to even, it doesn't matter. I could lose that money and it won't, But luckily I didn't lose anything. So, but I mean, look how many people jump into it, and there's people who made millions and then they lost it all, and because the understanding of, same with stocks, the understanding of the financial market. It's not just an activity where you jump in. The people who are investing, like Eldrick, he does his homework on the companies and projections on seeing the trends and how it's doing. But it's the same thing in business or digital marketing or anything. Don't just jump in and go, oh, I'm just going to do social media because, oh, I saw Shay Robobottom or Gary Vee do something, so I'm just going to do their method and do it myself. Well, you got to look at, does it work for me? Or I'm going to start copywriting and do it exactly like Eldrick. Well, it works for Eldrick, but it might not work for you. So it comes down to take your time, research, So
I think, Audrey, you have something to add?
I don't really have anything to add in terms of that approach, because I fully endorse the approach where okay, so common sense and critical thinking can be very difficult to have. I mean, in terms of the interactions that I have, but so my tip is very simple. If something entices you so much that you are willing to part your money for it, chances are you should just slow down a little. I'll put it this way. Opportunities come and go. So if you miss out this one, you're not going to miss out on the future ones, so long as you keep your eyes open and you continue to work towards it. It will come. I think the most important thing is, whenever something always entices you and you don't feel too good about it, meaning your gut feel, don't feel too good about it, slow down. It's fine. Think it through. Because chances are your money is hard-earned. I think second generation inheritors are rare, because as a byproduct of society, right, those who rise to the top of hierarchies are top 5%. And then if you happen to be born into the lucky sperm club, good for you, but it's not going to be a lot. So your money is probably hard-earned. Don't waste it that way. Now, I think that the research approach works. We need to have a lot more patience, although in times like this, patience is really difficult, right? Everyone has a fast food concept. Just one thing, even for us, for bottoms-up perspective, we mentioned, I think we had an initiative about 2 to 3 weeks ago where we are shifting part of our collective research and opinions and our content assets into a newsletter. It took me 3 weeks. Kevin knows because I have been asking him for his opinion. Substack, Swapstack, or Review, which is integrated with Twitter. It took me 3 weeks outside of my main investing time, work time, writing time, to actually figure out and to find people to talk to. Like, oh, why do you use this? Why do you not use this? Because behind every newsletter platform is a different business model. So you need to find that thing that suits to you. Which business model suits you? and appeal to you. The same thing goes for your investment classes, some asset classes. Some people believe that companies are the best way to invest. They'll stay in stocks regardless of what you say, right? And then there are those where they believe in cryptos because of the spirit of the community. Well, that's good too, but pick the ones that resonates with you. I think that's important. It's the same for what we are talking about here, which is the research. Like, if we are really thinking to democratize our research as part of a DeFi academy or something like that, then we have to do a lot of studying. Chances are, the more innovative the technology, the less credible sources there are. So you are going to have to plow through a sea of content just to see what is credible and where and who are the plagiarists and who are the conspiracy theorists, so then you can form an opinion. I think it's a worthwhile journey. Long, but anything that is worthy usually takes a longer time. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, if we pull this back to innovation and technology such as blockchain, right? I think technology itself is not evil. It's not good as well. Well, usually it's double-edged sword, right? So it really matters how you make that technology work for you, or it could work against you. So what I'm trying to say really is, we see a lot of mainstream media trying to associate bad things with blockchain, with certain cryptocurrencies, right? For example, Bitcoin is always in the spotlight for being used to fund terrorism, drug lord money, etc., etc. I think let's be clear. That has nothing to do with technology. It has everything to do with the people behind it, or the application of using the technology, how they are using it. From a technology standpoint, I think, based on what you outlined, right, Audrey, how blockchain is authenticated, you can't change the information there. It stays there for everyone to see. The transparency is all there. You can't plagiarize things there. I think as that technology, blockchain itself, I think it has huge implications and usage that we probably only barely scratched the surface, which probably explains why there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of different currencies, cryptocurrencies available right now. Of course, a lot of these are what we call shit coins because they don't have any application at all. But there are a bunch of those that really have huge applications. Smart contracts being one, NFTs being another use case that really does have a lot of value. And as you pointed out, right, Audrey, in your article, NFTs are important because they allow the original creator of the art to be rewarded every time there's a sale that go through. And I think that's a great thing. That's a great thing for arts because the original creator gets that value back for his or her creation, and that means a chance of livelihood. That means a bigger possibility now for more people to go into the arts because it's a more viable form of occupation, job. So there are really good things, and of course, if you always choose to look at the bad, it's always there as well. But my point here is the technology itself is innovative. I think it's good. It's definitely here to stay. So let's just be mindful how it is being used and not associate it with always something evil like what the mainstream media would like for you to choose to think, because mainstream media wants control. So yeah, which they are probably speaking on behalf of the banks, right? They want control, and crypto just flips everything out, throws everything out the window for them. So that's my take. If we want to draw back to this topic of blockchain and innovation, that's how I see it.
And that's a great, what you just said, Jeremy, because it goes back to, I think it was 3 episodes ago, change management. Change management doesn't just apply in a company. It also applies in life, period.
Yeah.
Every day we're faced with new things like these cell phones when it first happened, and now we've adapted and it just becomes part of life. I think it's just a matter of time. These innovations that we're talking about, the up and comers, is going to just become a part of our life. You know, I think cryptocurrency will eventually be part of our life. It's just a matter of when, right? So blockchain is the future of contracts. I really think, you know, there's no more having to go through, you know, an attorney and do all this stuff, you know, it's all digitalized, you know, and transparency is there, you know, why not, right? So it makes sense, and it's a way, there's ledgers to track it, you know, so that's going to be the future of business. So
in fact, I think it probably already is, right?
Yep.
Just depending on adoption. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Aldrich.
No, it's okay. I wanted to ask Kevin, because you are running a digital media agency. So do you see a possibility in let's say a 5-year future where you can operate a substantial component of your business within blockchain itself, taking away all the third-party intermediaries for you to get your business done? Are you sold on that idea? Because that is the premise. Specifically on Ethereum blockchain, there are tons of blockchains out there. People, just in case you're thinking that blockchain is one. No,
there's a ton. Yep.
Right.
Ton, yeah.
So there's the Ethereum blockchain. There's I think Bitcoin is another one. It's called distributive ledgers.
Yeah, that's what Cardano. There's Polkadot. There's too many names.
I think Ethereum is the one that's leading it regards to like NFTs and.
So what do you think about it, Kevin? Like, are you sold on the premise within, say, the next 5 years?
I'm pretty sold on the concept and the idea of, you know, preventing plagiarism and being able to track, you know.
Oh, that's for me.
The creatives that you're putting out there.
Because I'm the contributor.
Yeah. But as an agency too, you know, we put out so much stuff, you know, so we want ownership of it. And on top of that, it's also doing business with other brands, you know, being able to truly, you know, be able to have a smart contract between our relationship, you know, is very effective. So.
I mean, even just for payments, right? If it's just done, you know, through crypto, you just get it immediately, like in seconds, depending on which blockchain. You get the payment in seconds. You don't have to wait for the bank, for whoever's paying you to credit the money into the bank, and then for the bank, you know, you wait 1-2 day holding, they clear it, and then before the money reaches you.
Especially when we're talking about globalization, right?
Exactly.
Like, I think companies need to stop looking at just doing business in their local communities. You got a bigger playground nowadays with social media, with blockchain, with technology. You can expand your business like beyond borders. It doesn't have to be just, oh, I'm here in Kansas City in the Midwest, so that's the only place I can do business. With these technology and innovative tools, it allows us to do business more safely, you know, in a way too. It's like, Jeremy, you just mentioned, you know, you can't blame the technology, you know, for people doing bad business, right? Because there's people who do illegal business through the banks too, the regular financial institution, you know. But it allows you to communicate with people overseas. It allows you to have contract agreements that's more sticky, because technically you sign an agreement with someone overseas. It doesn't really hold anything, you know. At the end of the day, it's so hard to go through legal. If here I am in the US in the Midwest, you guys know, and then you're in Asia in Singapore or Vietnam, you know, only if I'm Mark Zuckerberg and have a lot of money, you know, it's pretty hard to go after people. But I think with what we're talking about today, blockchain is more sticky, you know.
Yeah.
There's more ways.
You put it on a smart contract, and then when these things terms fulfill, you know, the contract gets fulfilled, and then, you know, you get the money. You don't have to enforce it. People can run away and not pay you. All that good stuff, right? I mean, it really helps with the business. And like you said, right, Kevin, all this is possible because technology has allowed a lot of things to be decentralized. Information is decentralized. Money is decentralized. So it's really the Wild West now, right? The whole entire world is your oyster, saying it's true now because of technology. It's really just because of technology.
So next week we go talk about part 4 is geno editing. So
We can finally live forever.
yep. So
No, kidding.
you
Kidding.
got all these doctors here, right? So
We're playing God next episode.
yep, playing God next episode, and love to hear your
man.
thoughts. So comment below when you guys, if you rewatch this, if you have any questions, any thoughts, if you like to be a guest. We're just kind of sharing our research, our thoughts and ideas. We love to hear yours. Feel free. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. And, next month is coming up very soon. And we kind of have I think next month is just kind of a free for all. We go all bring our own guests on the show and just have some fun again and just talk about some other things. And I'm just happy, all of you that, consistently follow us. We want to say thank you. And remember, we have a website now. It's bottomsupperspective.com. Feel free to follow us. Follow our articles on Medium. Like Eldrick said, we're putting out, some research articles on the topics that we're discussing on every Wednesday night or your Thursday morning. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And hope you'll be back for geno editing for next week.
That's going to be interesting.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.